At the edge of a peaceful village, a poor man walked silently along a dirt road, carrying his daily struggles in quiet dignity while the waking world went about its work around him. He had almost nothing except worn hands and quiet determination, rising each day with uncertainty, but carrying a spirit that refused to bow to hardship or surrender his dignity. Each step he took through the village path was not for sympathy or charity, but for the quiet assurance that honest work and dignity were worth more than any fleeting comfort. He paused by the village stream, watching the sunlight dance on the water, feeling the quiet rhythm of life and realizing that no struggle could wash away his inner strength. He carried a humble basket of vegetables along the village path, aware that every honest effort, no matter how small, was a step toward preserving his dignity and self-respect. He stopped briefly by a small clay hut where neighbors exchanged greetings, feeling connected yet quietly apart, holding his values above fleeting admiration or sympathy. He walked past the waving fields of tall grass, feeling the gentle whisper of the wind, as if reminding him that integrity and patience were the truest companions of a meaningful life. At the edge of the marketplace, he observed quietly, never rushing, knowing that respect earned through honesty carries more weight than any fleeting material gain. He carefully helped a small child cross the stream, showing that kindness and dignity often speak louder than words, leaving impressions that money could never buy. He continued along the shaded village path, feeling that every honest action, every step of perseverance was quietly shaping a life rooted in dignity, strength, and hope. He rested beneath the banyan tree, feeling the calm rustle of leaves above him, and realized that sometimes patience and reflection are as valuable as hard work itself. Even in solitude, he found a quiet strength that no poverty could ever take away. He lent his strength to an elderly villager, carrying the bundle with care and humility, knowing that true worth lies in selfless deeds. In every small act of kindness, he felt a connection to life far greater than material wealth. He walked the flower-lined lane with measured steps, reflecting on the simplicity of village life in the quiet joys that often go unnoticed. Every petal, every breeze reminded him that honesty and integrity bloom stronger than wealth ever could. He leaned slightly over the village well, watching the ripples in the water and contemplating how life often tests patience and resolve. Yet he smiled softly, knowing that staying true to oneself is a reward no one can take away. He passed the grazing goats in the golden sunlight, observing the calm rhythm of rural life and appreciating the steady simplicity that surrounded him. Every small sight reminded him that living with dignity requires patience, care, and respect for every moment. He rested briefly on the fence, gazing over the harvested fields with quiet gratitude for the hard work and resilience that shaped village life. Though life was not easy, he felt a silent pride that only integrity and perseverance could give. He offered his strength to help a farmer carry the grain, feeling a quiet fulfillment that comes from honest labor shared with others. Every act of integrity strengthened his connection to the community and to himself. He walked along the riverbank, feeling the gentle sway of reeds and the calm reflection of sunlight on water, reminding him that patience and humility are the foundations of a meaningful life. In the quiet of nature, he found a sense of balance and purpose that no wealth could ever replace. As he walked beneath the towering coconut trees, he reflected on the day's journey, knowing that every choice rooted in honesty and dignity shaped the life he wanted to lead. Even in simplicity, he felt a richness that no coin could provide. He rested beneath the mango tree, watching the village bathe in the soft glow of evening, feeling that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in the strength and dignity one carries quietly each day. With every honest step and every kind act, he had built a life far richer than any material comfort could offer. He walked steadily through the rice fields, feeling the warmth of the morning sun on his back and the quiet strength in his heart that came from living honestly and with unwavering dignity. He lent a helping hand to a villager carrying water, feeling a quiet satisfaction in knowing that acts of kindness, no matter how small, strengthen both the giver and the community. As he passed the grazing cows, he reflected on the simple rhythms of rural life and how living with honesty and patience brings a quiet fulfillment that money cannot buy. He rested for a moment on the bamboo fence, gazing at the harvested fields and feeling a silent pride for the life he built through patience, honesty, and self-respect. Walking under the tall coconut trees, he felt the gentle sway of branches and the comforting rhythm of village life, reminding him that integrity and patience are the foundations of a meaningful existence. He helped a small child gather fallen mangoes, smiling softly at the simple joy it brought, knowing that every act of compassion quietly strengthens the bond between people and community. He passed the bustling market quietly, observing the villagers going about their day, and felt a quiet contentment, knowing that his life, though humble, was lived with honesty and respect. He walked slowly along the sunlit path, feeling the gentle breeze, and reflecting that the quiet strength of living honestly is more valuable than any material reward the world could offer. He sat quietly on the bench, gazing at the sky above the fields and realizing that life's true rewards are invisible, measured not by wealth, but by the dignity with which one lives each day. As he returned to his small hut at sunset, he felt a quiet fulfillment in his heart, knowing that every honest choice and every step lived with integrity had built a life richer than gold. He walked quietly past the shimmering rice paddies, feeling the gentle morning breeze and realizing that living with honesty and integrity gives a sense of peace far beyond material gain. He lent a helping hand to a villager carrying vegetables, understanding that acts of kindness, no matter how simple, leave an invisible imprint that strengthens both the giver and the community. He walked under the mango trees, feeling the comforting rhythm of village life and reflecting that true fulfillment comes from living with honesty, patience, and unwavering dignity. He sat beside the pond, observing the gentle ripples and realizing that life's true treasures are intangible, nurtured through honesty, care, and respect for oneself and others. He walked slowly through the flowering fields, understanding that the quiet moments of honesty, patience, and perseverance create a life of richness that no material wealth can match. He assisted a child up a small hill, feeling that every gesture of compassion and integrity strengthens the bonds of humanity far more than coins or possessions ever could. As the sun began to set, he continued along the village road, reflecting that living with honesty and dignity ensures a peace of mind no wealth can ever buy, and a legacy no one can take. He paused briefly by the fence, watching villagers returning home with their day's work done, realizing that a life rooted in honesty and self-respect shines quietly yet profoundly amidst the ordinary. He approached his humble hut as the day faded, feeling contentment deep in his heart, knowing that a life lived with integrity, kindness, and diligence is richer than any treasure the world can offer. As he sat quietly beneath the mango tree at sunset, he reflected that true wealth is not counted in coins or possessions, but in the dignity, honesty, and integrity one carries through life, and that every honest choice and every act of kindness builds a richness no material reward can ever match. Moral: self-respect and integrity are far more valuable than poverty or wealth, and living honestly creates a life of true richness.